good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome. We're grateful to see you here. My name is Paul Houghton, and the webinar is going to be on, as you know, moving from spreadsheets into moving from spreadsheets into a more robust world with regards to workforce planning. I'm joined by my colleague Jason Mann today, who brings real deep expertise in both enterprise planning and analytics. And together with the rest of the team from InfoCat here, we're really excited to walk you through how Vena for workforce planning is critical for aligning your people strategy with business goals, and how Vena implemented by InfoCat helps you move from a disconnected spreadsheet world to a secure, collaborative and data-driven approach. I'll just hasten to add, while we get into this, when we get into the whole discussion, and I'll tell you a little bit more about InfoCat, we are completely independent, and therefore the advice that we're going to offer you is not purely around Vena, and you can absolutely ask us questions. We've got an awful lot of experience, over 30 years of trading experience, specifically within this space. So you can talk to us about other solutions that we sell, and the answer isn't always Vena, as I say, but it could well be in this particular instance, and that's where we're going to focus. So in this short session, we're going to explore the strategic importance of how effective headcount planning and forecasting works. The goal is to align your workforce with business strategy, managing costs effectively and ensuring the right skills are in place for growth at the right place at the right time. Typically, traditional spreadsheet-based planning often leads to disconnected data and limited collaboration, as I'm sure most of you have worked out when it comes to moving away from that spreadsheet environment when you moved for an FP&A solution in the first place. But that traditional approach has led to that disconnection and the limited collaboration with little or no workflow. Today, we're going to talk to you about Vena and how we've implemented with InfoCat that can be transformed into a secure and structured and collaborative experience. InfoCat's a UK-based consulting organization with over 30 years trading history, but more than 100 man-years of project experience. So you can see us really as being a trusted and safe pair of hands. Everybody thinks their business is different, and they're all unique. However, what they are is there are similarities, and hence you're going to see a template approach to things, and that works really, really well. So we're going to walk through 3 real-world scenarios to demonstrate the power of integrated workforce planning. Okay. So workforce planning itself, to a certain extent, I don't need to educate you guys on this, but workforce planning is a critical strategic function that goes beyond the realms of HR. Typically, it's the finance team that get involved with this, but it's the way to align the workforce with the broader business strategy. So you can manage operational costs and ensure that the organization has the right skills in place to support the growth or not that you're looking for. Effective planning enables businesses to anticipate future needs, respond to market changes, and maintain agility. Without a robust planning framework, organizations really do struggle, and they risk making decisions based on outdated or siloed data. And that leads to inefficiencies and missed opportunities. By integrating workforce planning with financial and operational data, companies can make informed decisions that support long-term success. So let's talk briefly about what a spreadsheet environment can often look like. And many organizations still rely on that disconnected planning approach. Vena themselves have seen that when organizations move to an FP&A scenario, they build solutions, whether or not that's Vena, whether or not that's any of the other technologies that are out there, whether that's Anaplan, that's Planful, Jedox, whoever it is. Organizations still, and the big risk to adoption is that businesses find that the end users still go, actually, I really still like Excel. And the interface, therefore, is not quite what they anticipated. And Vena have done some surveys on this and found that 85% of businesses still revert back to using Excel. So that seems a little bit crazy in that respect, but it's real. And it's real because organizations, businesses, end users tend to feel very, very comfortable with that. So what you tend to see is a number of different data silos. You've got a real struggle with lack of real-time updates, limited collaboration between those departments. So typically HR tends to own that data from the HRIS system, whether or not that's HiBob, whether or not that's NetSuite, whatever that tends to be. But finance and operations and departmental leaders all need visibility of that to make their own informed decisions. Spreadsheets errors are prevalent. It's always the case. Cutting and pasting, you're always going to see challenges with that. Version control becomes a major issue. So you can lead to real inaccuracies in terms of forecasting and therefore misaligned strategies. The lack of the integration with the core systems like HR and ERP tender solutions further compound those issues, making it really difficult to respond quickly to changes when you need to model scenarios really, really quickly. So briefly, a little bit about us. Vena has been around in the marketplace for over 15 years now, and came about because of the fact that they saw there was a real need for businesses to still be able to use and embrace Excel. So it's a powerful workforce planning solution and workforce planning will typically be almost a phase 2. The organizations will do with their phase 1, they'll do their profit and loss, their balance sheet and their cash flow projections. But ultimately then phase 2 tends to be, right, we need to start now thinking about integration with the workforce side of things to be able to say, well, actually, we've got the ERP element of things, we've got the numbers there, but we actually also need to be able to look at how we then potentially look at individuals, what they're going to look like, and what they're going to look like for the future. And that then leads to structures and collaborative solutions that are needed across all the departments. As I mentioned, InfoCat has been around for over 30 years and over 100 man-years of project experience. And we've been implementing and reselling Vena for almost 4 years now. And so deep expertise in both the financial and operational performance management. And that really should ensure the successful project that you're looking for. So together, the combination of that gives a really strong, comprehensive solution that really addresses the limitations of spreadsheet-based planning and empowers organizations to make better decisions. I often get asked the question, well, what's the difference between something like Vena and Excel? And I think this summarizes it really quite neatly. Excel is brilliant as a user interface. And that's where people say, well, actually, I really, really like it. It's not good at things like governance. It's not good. It's not bad at scenario modeling. You can do a little bit of that, but it's not great at it. The collaboration aspect of things, you have no idea who's doing what at any given time. It's not feasible to try and keep on top of that, even with the online versions of Excel as it stands. And very rarely are you talking about using the current, the most up-to-date real-time data. It becomes a real challenge. So we're going to just talk through a real-life scenario, and I'm going to hand over to Jason shortly, who's going to demonstrate what this actually looks like. But ultimately, in our scenario here, our technology company is a 350-strong organization. And basically the CEO said, look, there's a few things that are happening, but I want you to model these 3 different scenarios by the end of the week. And, we've done the budget. So we've gone ahead and we've created all of that from our FP&A side of things. And now at the end of that, we're pulling HR information across from, in this instance, Business Central. The integration between Vena and all of the Microsoft technology stack is really, really strong. So that's a good example, but it can absolutely be any other technical environment at all. So any RP, any data source that you're looking at, then Vena will absolutely be able to integrate with it. In this instance, we're talking about pulling information from an employee point of view from HiBob, as the HRIS system. But finance has got that one version. HR's got a slightly different version. Operations realized that something's changed this morning, so they've got a real different set of requirements based on right now. And we're in Excel. And that's really difficult to try and manage that whole of that thing.